Okay, so for today, we're going to discuss about the employee productivity under production and operation management. So of course, the efficiency of a company personnel is crucial to its profitability and competitiveness. So it makes sense if you increase productivity, you may anticipate bigger earnings without expanding personnel. And this increase the probability of long-term success in highly competitive marketplaces. Therefore, it is crucial that business executive understand how to assess productivity and use the resulting data to identify and eliminate hurdles that prevent their workforce from becoming more productive. So because when we say productivity, this will be a measure of economic or corporate performance that demonstrate how efficiently inputs such as labor and capital are converted into outputs such as goods and services. Now, so to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is me again, Vincent James Ponzalan, and I will be discussing the topic employee productivity. Employees are the building blocks of every company, whether be it is in production like production lines or factory, or services like spa, restaurants, or hotel. When it comes to how workers work right now, there have been some significant changes over the last few years. While it may once appeared absurd to believe that employees might work somewhere other than a corporate location, the trend line of remote work, which is rapidly expanding, demonstrate that it is possible. It's only logical to question whether employee productivity is suffering as a result of all the changes to the way we work. Every first day of our job, we are always greeted, "Welcome to the team," because we are joining an organization to participate in achieving one goal. So let's define first what is productivity. So there are so many different definition of this, which are flashed on the screen. The first one, it is the amount of work produced by an employee in a specific period of time. The second one, it is the ratio between the output volume and the volume of inputs. The third one, outputs are efficiently achieved through inputs in a given amount of time. Employer productivity measures how efficiently outputs are achieved by maximizing inputs in a specific amount of time. Each business's outputs are distinct. However, they might be include any services or good for you to offer in public. Inputs, also known as the productivity enablers, include things like teamwork, tool efficiencies, workflows, and innovations. These tend to be similar across enterprises. So, let's now discuss what are the factors affecting employee productivity. The first one on the screen is company culture. To guarantee that every employee is aware of the organization's goals and activities, they must take to accomplish them. Managers and leaders must ensure that the organization's goals and direction are clearly defined. Lack of direction has a impact on productivity levels and can end up costing businesses a lot of money over time. The second one is the workplace ergonomics. Other than may affect an individual productivity includes the temperature at work, inadequate lighting, dehydration, and pain and bad postures. So mostly work from home individuals, they are eager to buy this kind of table, this kind of specific seat for them to be working properly. And in fact, in some workplaces, they are controlling the air conditioning and even the lighting. They are hiring industrial engineers for them to design an ergonomic workplace to each employee. The next one is the what we call compensation and benefits. If we compensate our employees properly and they are receiving benefits, I'm sure they will be working properly and efficiently. Actually, benefits can be extended to their families, such as for myself, my parents are covered in my health insurance or like Medicard and MaxiCare. Some have the so-called educational allowance, car allowance, and housing allowances. So these benefits that can be extended to their families can motivate them to work productively. The second one is training. According to different surveys, 74% of workers believe that lack of training and professional development chances is keeping them from realizing their full potential. The next one is health and wellness. Recently, during the pandemic, there are so many offices that builds like uh, mental health awareness, that they are introducing rehabilitations together with psychiatrists and psychologists for your mental health. And somehow the wellness, in fact, they have some paliga like basketball tournaments and such for them to be physically physically fit. The last one in the factors is the equipment and technology. Employees may maximize their workday and work more efficiently with the right tools and the right technology. So now, the general formula for measuring the employee productivity is really output unit over input unit equals to productivity. I believe this was already discussed on our um, previous topic, but let's dig deep to what are the different measuring methods that our company are doing. The first one is the so-called qualitative method. I mean, sorry for the typographical error. Quantitative method. Quantitative technique can be straightforward and are based on calculating productivity as the total quantity of goods produced by an employee over a specific period of time. The quantitative approach requires organizations to calculate their typical operations output, average it, and then divide it by the overall workforce of the company or a specific department. Once you have this figure out, you may compare it against it to see how productive your staff are. When a company employs this strategy, it must take into account unavoidable elements like waiting periods for equipment and materials or trainings. Utilizing productivity tools, businesses may determine how many goods an individual produces during a specific period of time. It gauges outputs based on quantity or volume. So, the best representation of the quantitative method is the numbers. The next one is the objective method. The objective method gauges employee productivity by how successfully they accomplish predetermined goals. To be objective, one must evaluate performance using data. Predefined measures that are automatically and consistently tracked, not hunches or guesses. Businesses need to establish a baseline for each position inside the organization in order to be objectively measure productivity. Businesses must give their employees the resources and tools they need to achieve their specific, measurable goals. Businesses can increase their employee productivity and company profitability by objectively measuring and effectively communicating the work efforts of their personnel. Actually, one of the best example of objective method is the teaching force. Beforehand, before we discuss all our topics, we are given what are the objectives that we need to learn on the specific topic. Then afterwards, we have the assessment. This assessment, whether it be a positive or negative assessment, once the objective is hit, we are on a positive side. The third one is the service productivity. Businesses must understand how to quantify services production in order to measure productivity as precisely as feasible. Keeping track of how many jobs are completed or clients are served in a certain period of time is one technique to do this. You can also keep track of how quickly services and provided or how satisfied your clients are. So service productivity are the best example of these are like spa, hotels, or even a barber shop. How many can you cut? No, I mean the hair, not the head. How many hair head can you cut under 1 hour? And the output shall be at 100% and your customers should be satisfied since you are offering services. The other two, the first one is the task tracking. Many businesses think that the evaluating the numbers of tasks completed by employees should be determined productivity instead of tracking the numbers of hours spent at the workplace. Sometimes it's trickier to track tasks than it is to track hours work. Actually, on my field in aviation, we are using different this kind of measurability in terms of productivity, which is the task. For example, each task has a specific task cards that should be properly uh, properly obtained. So, for example, a specific task uh, has to be done in 1 hour, and all task cards are being submitted into the production or to the planner. Then everything will be summarized every day. Then a projection of how many percentage of the 100% you are already done. The last one is the so-called time tracking. Because hours can be easily tracked with time tracking, tracking an employee's hour is a common method of gauging productivity. Employees can record the amount of time spent on assignments or projects using time tracking software. Team leaders can track employee time spent so they can identify each employee's specific strengths and weaknesses and assign them to different projects accordingly. So let's talk about what are the strategies that our company needs to improve for our employee productivity. So the first one is to incentivize employees or your people. Employees are frequently motivated to work harder and be more productive when they receive praise for a job well done. According to research, incentive plans can boost employees' interest in their jobs. When programs are initially made available for finishing a task, performance can improve by 15%. So, who doesn't want an incentive when we are doing different jobs? Actually, according to some of my readings, these incentives are injected to us since we are a child, because whenever our parents are teaching us good manners and right conduct, sometimes they are giving us some chocolates or candies when we are doing things right. The next one is allow flexible schedules. Allowing various periods of the day are more productive for various persons. The optimum work environment for each of your employees may not be a regular work day. According to Gartner 2021, 43% of the participants reported that having more flexibility with their work schedules helped them to be more productive. So, especially right now, some of the workforce are working from home. They are giving their employees the liberty to choose their time, uh, and they just need to complete 8 hours a day, depending, and it depends on the person who is working. So they are giving the liberty to choose their time. The next one is improve workplace condition. So temperature, air quality, lighting, and noise conditions in the workplace can affect the work concentration and productivity. So like what I've said before, some of the personals are buying this ergonomic table and chairs, gaming chairs, and having this aesthetic lighting for them to work properly, because sometimes the mindset of the people when they have new products, when they have new equipment in their workplace, they think that they will be more productive because it is a mindsetting. The next one is provide better employee training. Proper training can set their foot on the right step. And retaining can prevent small and basic mistakes. So, tao lang po tayo, nagkakamali, and sometimes we forget the basic things that we need to do. That's why retraining is a must, or recurrent training is a must. Um, the next one is by giving people some downtime. The most savvy business people are aware that maintaining an achievement oriented culture requires relaxation. Instead of decreasing the productivity, the correct amount of downtime can boost it. Employers may recommend several sorts of downtime to boost productivity, such as promoting vacations, lunch break, and technology downtime. Organizations are able to get the best and most out of their staff when they are encouraged to make use of downtime. One of the best example that I am seeing in the grocery stores of SM is that they are giving their employees a chance to have a 30-second or a 15-second breaks. When they are doing like the clap, then they are shouting happy to serve, because with this kind of downtime, they are rebooting themselves. They are rebooting the system of themselves that they are not working. Simple gestures like clapping can induce their minds with happy hormones. And another one is that sometimes during Christmas season, they will be having some of the employees are dancing in SM or Walter Mart, and everyone, every cashier, every supervisor, they are having a 1 or 2 minute downtime to watch their employees, because they uh, by doing these kinds of downtime, they are being entertained and they are being reset from the routine work that they are doing. The next one is promote self-care and health. Encouraging employees to take care of themselves is vital to workforce productivity. Like what I've said, during the pandemic, there are um, so many initiatives to create a mental health facilities. Then sometimes par uh companies are having a partner to different gyms, like Anytime Fitness, Gold's Gym, and they are having 50% discount or even more, just for the employees to boost their power, their will to go to the gym. The last one is create a friendly competition. Friendly competition can increase engagement. Actually, I am very guilty with this. Having creating a friendly competition among your colleagues is a very good strategy. Why? Because you are having a accountability body. You are having parang ganito. You're racing to each other in a very um friendly competition. You are not seeing your colleague as an enemy, but a partner in crime or accountability buddy in reaching your goals. So next one, this is how to create a continuous productivity improvement culture. First is to regularly reinforce your vision. The employee should know what will be the tomorrow of our company. Talk openly about employee productivity, because they should be aware that these are the projects, these are the timelines and the milestones that we need to do. Set employee productivity goals. Identify areas where friction exists and take steps to address roadblocks. So, um, when we say friction, these are some of the nitty gritty of our employees, like having uh, some konting away, konting salisan. This is not just on employee to employee, but even employee to manager or employee to their subordinates. So we should always flatten this out. and everything should be working smoothly. The next one is encourage ownership of individual work and productivity levels. When we instill to our employees that they are working for themselves, they are having this accountability to themselves. I'm always saying this to some of my teammates in my work that small goals will result always to bigger achievements. The last slide would be what are the importance what are the importances of employee productivity? The first one, of course, business is still a business. It improves overall profit. When it takes an employee longer to complete a task or offer a service, this is a sign of inefficiency. Profitability will then increase by rapidly addressing the issue and raising staff output. The employees of a company are both an asset and an investment that they should yield a profit. If your personnel is effective, they should eventually generate a significant return of their time and money. The second one increases employee motivation. Employees can become more motivated when they feel productive and have a chance to make a greater contribution to a company. A workplace that is overall happier and more productive is one where people feel like they are contributing. The third one improves customer service. High productivity levels within your company can enhance customer service through better employee client relationships, especially in the services. When staff are doing well, they are engaging in the proper activities to offer each of their clients a better experience. Processes functions more smoothly, and there is less of a danger of customer neglect when various teams inside the business are in sync and coordinated. Additionally, all customers receive prompt, proactive service as a result. And lastly, it creates healthier work relationship. When everything is working accordingly, everyone will function smoothly. Processes may function more smoothly when organ where everyone in organization is productive and appropriately coordinated, as was already mentioned. Trust, respect, self-awareness, inclusion, and open communication are essential for productive working environment. So that's employee productivity. Once again, I am Vincent James Punzalan, and thank you so much for listening.
Okay, so again, productivity of all enterprises within an industry or sector is a measure of the sector productivity. And productivity of a team or department is the production of one or more individuals working toward a common goal, no? So productivity is essential to the profitability and survival of a business. Workforce productivity is the ratio of inputs such as a labor and capital to outputs such as a goods and services. Too much email, too many meetings, too many manual processes and technology that lags behind the business are obstacle to enhancing efficiency. Simple solution can assist in resolving these issues. Now, identifying and monitoring productivity metrics assists businesses in managing and enhancing staff productivity. Utilizing performance management software helps facilitate the measurement and management of productivity. And I think that's it for this topic.